And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of El Dorado, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. It is Classic. Man of the hour himself, he just took down Gumiho in the round of 32, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of El Dorado, we have his opponent. We have the green Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands. It is Harstem for Shopify Rebellion. The captain himself. Here we go. Again, of course, earlier we were covering Classic. He did go up against Gumiho in the round of 32. It was brutal to see them both face off. It went all the way to the ace match, and I do recommend the VODs. It was a spicy and intense best of 3 between those two players. And sad to see Gumiho knocked out early on, and now he faces off against Harstem in the next round. Here we go. We have our PvP. And we can see Classic setting up on the high ground, going for a more economic opener. Harstem setting up on... Sorry, I should say Classic setting up on the low ground at the natural. Harstem setting up on the high ground instead. Oh boy. So Harstem, he may have the opportunity here to try to all in and be aggressive and try to punish the greed of Classic. We'll see if he can. As there it is, a 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Harstem. Extra gateways, extra units early on, going for a delayed Nexus. Meanwhile, Classic going for a delayed second gas geyser. Classic, he wants that natural, he wants that Nexus, but Harstem, he's here to block it. Cybercore is forced down. Harstem rechecking that main. We'll get eyes on the setup. And again, Classic, he's hoping for an earlier Nexus, or, I mean, he might be forced into an earlier Stargates, but an economic opener nonetheless. This is more viable on El Dorado because there's a ramp coming into the natural, so much more defendable. It is safe to do so, relatively. So Harstem once again in position for the pylon block. Across the map, Harstem waiting for the Cybercore. Gateways are done. And there is that Stargate. So Harstem, he forces out the Stargate before Nexus. Now he gets the hell out of there, pulls away. Harstem opening up a double Stalker, and Harstem has no second probe, so there's no proxy. There's no proxy set up here. There's no setup for an all-in. Harstem most likely is going to expand behind this. Oh. Classic does hide his probe. Nicely done. With this Classic, he needs to scout to see if Harstem expands. He needs to know what the hell's going on with Harstem, whether he techs, whether he throws out extra gateways, whether he expands or not. You can see here, Classic is scouting as well for proxies on the right-hand side. Harstem, he throws down the third gateway, and he throws down the delayed proxy. Okay, let's get it to one base all in. Harstem, he is committing. It is a later proxy and a later pylon, that is true. But it's here nonetheless. And Classic is not fully aware of what's going on. He has expanded, throwing down the shield battery. Oracle first out of Classic. Harstem setting up the fourth gateway. So it's going to be a 1-base, a 4-gate all in. There's no blink. Bear that in mind, just vanilla Stalkers. Harstem poking in. Shield battery is done. Oracle does confirm the proxy. Void Ray's on the way. And we'll see if Harstem can overwhelm. Back at home, Harstem does have a shield battery. He's ready. The Oracle shouldn't get much done. Ooh, one Stalker goes down, but it missed control out of Harstem. That should not have happened. One Oracle falls. Stasis trap into the main. Oh, not quite. Classic pulls away. Harstem, he does have force fields. He can try to lock down the army. Void Ray has arrived. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Classic. Remember, Classic, he has the defender's advantage. He has a base over his opponent. He has better mining, better saturation. Second shield battery is on the way. Third shield battery is on the way. Harstem is pushing his way in. Complete out another Stalker. Oh, doesn't get the Void Ray. The Void Ray survives. Oh, does take down the Stalkers though. Gets one, gets two. There's one Stalker left. The Void Ray, one more volley, and it goes down. And Harstem, has he done it? Oh, barely not. As Classic, he holds on. Second Void Ray has arrived. The shield batteries are running out of energy. Harstem is pushing his way in, and he will break through. Takes down the Void Ray, takes down the Stalker, and there's nothing left. There's one Stalker left here for Classic, and he should lose all the pylons. Again, it was a bit of a later all-in, a bit of a later move out here by Harstem. He does catch Classic out. Classic forced to pull the boys. Will save the Stargate a little bit longer. But the Void Ray shouldn't finish. I mean, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. The pylon. 2 more volleys. 1 more. Pylon goes down. Stargate gets depowered. And there is no production. There is no units left. GG gets called. Harstem, he snowballs out of control. And Harstem takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Very, very close all in there. Harstem, he barely broke through, barely got on top of the production, and was able to successfully depower that Stargate. With that, no more Void Rays, no more defense. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Harstem does take a lead, and with that, Harstem, he is 1 game away from taking the series. OlimoLeague, 1 more game is all he needs. Classic, this is his map of choice. The pressure is on. Pressure is on. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Leylines, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Classic. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Green Protoss player, from the land of the Netherlands, representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. 1 more game is all he needs to bring down Classic. It is Harstem. OlimoLeague, 1 more game. Let's see if he can take it. So far, this time Classic setting up on the high ground. As a reminder, the reason why Classic was being greedy last game is because on El Dorado, it has a unique feature. It has a ramp coming into the natural. Here, there is no ramp. There is no ramp here on Leylines, so because of that, we should be seeing a 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Classic, 2-gate opener out of Harstem. That should be the setup here. Into a standard game, into either double Stalker, double Adept, Stalker Sentry. There's the second gateway. So far, mirrored builds. We are mirroring each other. As Harstem, he does skirt around the edge of the map. And I believe this should be the location for a fake proxy pylon. It isn't too close by ground, so I can't imagine we're going to be going for a proxy robo here. We'll see if Harstem commits as the pylon gets placed. And the probe does stick around. Okay. Yeah, my attention. We'll see. We'll see if Harstem does commit into anything. Meanwhile, Classic going for a fake proxy pylon himself. The pylon gets placed, but again, Classic, he pulls away. Oh. Going back in, actually. This wouldn't be a bad location for a proxy Stargate. What do you have for us? Robo versus... Let's go! Proxy Stargate out of Classic, Proxy Robo out of Harstem. Now, very different approaches here. Very different. Proxy Stargate is a macro build. This is designed to get some economic damage to scout and to allow Classic to get an economic lead and then expand. That is the goal with a Stargate. With a Robo, 1 base all in. So 1 base all in into Immortals, into War Prism to try to break through the front lines and to bust into the natural. Who do I favor in this position? I mean, the Oracle could wreak havoc and could kill a lot of workers, that is true, but the ground army of Classic is going to be lacking. Oh, he scouts! No shot, he does scout, does confirm, does get eyes on the Robo, he sees, he knows what's going on. Classic is aware. Does he still goes for the Oracle, bold move. Now, Classic, he's aware of the all-in, and Classic, he's hoping that this proxy Oracle can get across the map and cripple the economy of Harstem. Again, Harstem, he's on 1 base, so this economy is that much more important. Every worker counts that much more for Harstem. So he's going for the dive. Meanwhile, Harstem, he didn't scout, he's not aware what's going on. Stalkers are here to depower the Robo. And Harstem, he's out of position, he's racing back, he was scouting. The pylon is going to go down. I say that the Immortal pops out just in time. He saves the pylon. Whew. Does save the pylon. Kills the Stalker. Very nice pickoff. Oracle's on the way. In the main base, there's nothing to defend. At the same time, though, what about the ground army for Classic? As Harstem is pushing in, he's got 3 Stalkers. He's got an Immortal. Second Oracle's on the way. Classic, he's waiting for the second Oracle. Ooh, I don't think he actually needs to. Again, there was nothing here. And Harstem is forcing his way into the main base, and again the Oracles are not at home to defend. There's nothing, the boys are being pulled. Classic being a little bit greedy here, does get a second Stalker. Oh, trying to focus on the army, nice shuffling out of Harstem. Does shuffle his units back, saves the Stalkers, there's a defensive warp in, sentries on the way. And Oracles, they bust into the main. Probes are going down. Good reaction out of Harstem. Does save his workers. The Immortal's going to be targeted. The Prism. Oh no, it's too late. 1 second too late. Harstem, he does not save the Immortal. It goes down. And Classic is holding. He is holding on across the map. There's a defensive warp in. Classic does get another probe. In total, Classic, he kills 6 probes. 6 probes go down, but he lost 9 probes defending. And with that, Classic is behind. Classic is down in workers. He did not do enough damage with the Oracles. It was not worth it waiting for the second Oracle. And Harstem, he's ahead. He's up in workers, he's up in economy, and he's up in army. Now, what I will say is that Harstem is forced to keep some supply back at home to defend. So he's not using everything to attack. Which means Classic could stabilize. Harstem going for the mineral line. Oh. Tempted by the sentry. Threatens the base, but doesn't really get anything. Oh. So Harstem is forced out. Meanwhile, Void Ray's on the way. Okay, let's go. Void Ray comes in to reinforce. Likewise, Harstem warping in extra sentries, an extra immortal as well. The Void Ray cannon is building up, and there's limited anti-air for Harstem. Uh-oh. Classic is going for the proxy. He's going for the robo. Gateway's under fire. Pylon is going to go down. Harstem, he's expanding. He's crazy. He's macroing out of this. Takes down one gateway. He should take down the other. Second gateway goes down. And Classic is down to 1 gate. 1 gateway, 1 Stargate. That's all the production he has. From here, Harstem is containing Classic. And he should be reinforcing back at home to defend against the Void Ray. Speaking of, Void Ray's on the way. Void Rays, they're making their way across the map. They will get eyes on the expansion. But Classic, how does he break down? How does he push down this ramp? He can't. As long as Harstem's paying attention, as long as Harstem can force field the ramp, Classic, he's stuck. He's stuck in the main. Void Rays get spotted. Stalker's getting in position. Shield battery is done. And Harstem, he does reinforce. He does shut down the Void Rays. And Classic, he's in a rough position here. He has to do something. He has to either break out and go for his own all-in, or try to expand. But again, the army is trapped. The Void Ray cannon is building up. But at this point, Harstem doesn't have to reinforce his main army, just has to reinforce back at home instead. Classic now up to 3 Void Rays. Headed for the pylon. Nice angle. That's going to be zoned away. Likewise, stasis into the main does catch the gas mining workers. Very nice stasis. So Classic is doing some counter damage. But Classic, again, he's still stuck in the main. Ooh, he's going to try to break out. Okay. He turns back around with the Void Rays. He's setting up for a surround. And Classic, he can't take this fight. Harstem is going to have to recall the hell out of here. Otherwise, he's going to lose everything. Classic is set up. Nice force field on the ramp. Harstem turns back around. He will take down one of the Void Rays. But he has to get the hell out of here. Prism goes down as well. There's the recall. And Harstem, he saves 1 immortal. Just 1 immortal makes it home. Nice cleanup here by Classic. He breaks out. And now he counterattacks. Does counterattack across the map. Harstem, he's down to 1 immortal. But he has Mass Stalker. He's got how many? 13 Stalkers for Harstem against 4. And I'm not so certain that Classic can take a fight. I mean, it's going to come down to the force fields. If he can force field, if he can slice this army in half, then Classic can take it. But that's only if. If he fumbles the force fields, then Harstem should overwhelm. We'll see. Does threaten the shade into the main. Harstem does wall up. Harstem, he's got 2 shield batteries, soon to be 3. Nice sport. Oh my god, he gets knocked down. Yeah, Classic is going to get picked off. The Stalkers, the Adepts as well. Void Rays activate their prismatic alignments. And in a head-on fight, Harstem, he can take it. He takes down the Void Rays. First Void Ray should go down. He gets one. The Immortal pushes in. Nice juggling here out of Harstem. Takes down the second Void Ray. Takes down the third. There's one Void Ray left. Immortals, they come back in. Final Void Ray falls. And again, Harstem, he takes the fight. He had the greater army. And those force fields, they were brutal. They forced Classic to engage. Didn't want to. GG gets called, and Harstem will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Harstem will take the series. Again, Classic, after breaking out, he did not have enough to break that defensive line. As we did mention, Classic, he was relying on his own force fields. He had to try to cut up the army of Harstem to actually engage. Instead, he got caught out. Instead, Classic was the one caught by the force fields, and Harstem, he just snowballed out of control, takes the better fight. GG. GG, well played. With that, Harstem does advance on to the quarterfinals, and despite Classic taking down Gumiho earlier, Classic falls in the round 16. Classic does fall. GG, well played. Ooh, impressive stuff there out of Harstem. I mean, this was a very short series, is what I will say. It was very short and very intense. It's a very intense back and forth. And in the end, Harstem does take it. Congratulations. And now we need to take a moment here to catch up on what has been going on and to figure out where exactly we are. Oh boy. Here we go. As I am just going to be filling up the bracket here, as we can now head into the quarterfinals. Oh boy. Okay, there's a lot to get into. There are a lot of updates here. There is a lot to get into. So bear with us as we set up. Bear with us. Alright, and here we go as we switch the scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Again, the round 16 has concluded, and now we have our round of 8. We have our quarterfinals here. From the top, we have some updates here. As a lot to go over, we have the PvP as we did discuss. Harstem takes down Classic 2-0. Zound takes down Hacker as top, and we have Harstem versus Zound in the upper quarterfinals. Scrolling down, I would say this is an upset actually. We have seen these two face off many times over the past 2 months. Geralt takes down Trigger 2-0. Very impressive, considering that Trigger's best matchup recently has been PvP, and Trigger, he has been popping off in the PvP matchup as well. We've seen Trigger defeat Hero, we've seen him take down Classic, take down Zound. I don't think there's a single Protoss player in Korea that has not fallen to Trigger over the past couple of weeks, but for Trigger to fall to Geralt, very impressive. So GG well played. Geralt does take the series. Hero takes down Rebellion 2-0. So we have our top 4 Protosses up there in the quarterfinals. We have Harstem, Zound, Geralt, and Hero. There is going to be a Protoss confirmed in the finals, of course, but which Protoss? Hero on paper is the favorite player, but what I should emphasize here, even though I would say that Hero he's the strongest Protoss in South Korea, he's top 2 Protoss in the world. This is not about being the strongest Protoss, this is about having the best PvP. Specifically, this is all about the PvP matchup, and I would say that Zound is a PvP specialist, 100%. He is known for his PvP, as we just saw clearly. Harstem, he's got some builds, he's got his own all-ins up his sleeve as well, so Harstem, he's no slouch. Of course, Hero is a threat, and Geralt, for him to take down Trigger 2-0, Geralt is also going to be a threat as well. So a lot of top-tier Protoss players are going to be facing off, and we will find out who has the best PvP among them. We will find out, so best of luck to all those Protoss competitors. Scrolling down, we have Percival. Percival, of course, took down Mana 2-1. Rex took down Nico as well. And we have the only non-Protoss match in the quarterfinals, Percival versus Rex. They're facing off in a TVZ. And at the bottom of the bracket, we have Ryung versus Skillus in a TVP. Let's go. So we are going to be embracing these quarterfinals. From here on forward, we will be casting everything. We're going to start from the top. We're going to start with the PvPs. We're going to end with Ryung versus Skillus. We're going to cover all the quarterfinals into the semis, into the grand finals. There's a lot of StarCraft to come. There's let's go. There's 7 matches ahead of us, Pappy. 7 matches are ahead of us. We're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be preparing and getting everything ready here for what's to come for the round of 8. So we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes here. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. When we come back, we will have Harstem versus Down. See you soon. See you soon. Oh right, I'm sorry, my apologies. Sorry, I did misplace it. Sorry. Up next, at the end is gonna be Ryung versus Shin. Sorry, I have to. Did put in the wrong score. My apologies. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. There we go. There we go. Shin took down Skillless, and oh right, that means 2 TVZs. So my apologies. Thank you for catching that. Thank you for catching that. It is going to be 2 TVZs in the bottom of the bracket: Percival versus Rex and Ryung versus Shin, which means no PvP finals. Let's go. No PvP finals, Pappy. Okay. So my apologies. Thank you for catching that. We will be catching up on Harstem versus Down after the break. See you soon. See you soon.